Hilpa Gregov, Dr. Gregov is the head of the climate change department of the Finnish Meteorological Institute. And she told us simply that we are so close to tipping points that it's only a miracle that our ecosystems are functioning in a way they are doing, or how we perceive that they are doing. It may be that we are over tipping points, but we haven't seen consequences clearly enough so that we would understand what is going on. A typical example is the temperature of seawater, because that has a huge impact on global ecosystems and food chains and everything around us. And this is a big challenge. How do we prepare our countries and our companies, organizations, and even our own household? How do we prepare for this type of futures? And then when after this kind of alarming presentation, or those presentations, I returned back to my resilience factors. I found out that there are only 3 that may have some improve, or may have some potential for resilience required in that type of extreme cases. And that is to use all the global resources to solve the problem, or neighbors' resources. It means that my neighbor next door and also neighboring countries' resources. But it applies also that we have to be sure and we have to prepare to share our resources with everybody else. So preparedness or resilience is not so that we are able to manage with our own resources and within our own country. But it may be that the food chains, when they are collapsing, we have to produce enough to serve the global south. Who knows? And then in order to maintain our social systems resilience, and that means also democratic system and so on, so trust, we ought to invest so much more on trust. And then we have to be able to be free to self-organize, not so that we are sitting and waiting that like in pandemics, that we were watching television every day when our cabinet was ministers were telling us that what to do and what not to do. That is something that is not possible if the shock is big enough, if it's a catastrophe. So we ought to be empowered to self-organize.